travel. A new concept in holidays. Send for our free brochure with this priority registration form. Oh, how marvellous to think I get priority over all those people who don't send for it. Hello? Oh, Jonathan, yes, what's the matter? Yes, I told you I'll bring it back this morning. Yes, I know it's a library book. It's got smutty little messages scrawled on the jacket. Yeah. Look, I'll have to go. The paper boy's arrived. No, he can't push it through the box. It comes with a supplement on Wednesdays. It takes 2 of us and a pit pony to get it over the doorstep. Yes, I will. I promise. Oh. All right, I'm just revving up the forklift. Leaning on my belt. Ramo.
Hello, Sheila. How is Daniel?
Do you care?
Oh, yes. 1/2 still belongs to me. Should I ever think of selling, I'd like to know he was in good condition.
Very droll.
Do I have to say I miss my son?
No, you've always missed him. On average by about 2,000 miles. If Lufthansa hadn't cancelled the flight to Berlin, you'd have missed the damn conception.
I have to work.
Ramo, he's growing up. He would like to see his father now and again.
I write.
Postcards.
You know I never could write letters.
You could never write ones that made any sense.
I am a lawyer. A lot of people pay good money for that.
There is no reason for a lawyer to be out of the country all the time.
I am different. I can write letters that don't make any sense in 3 languages.
Well, I've had my say. Now, tell me what you want and go. I'll be late for work.
I don't suppose you could take the day off.
Why?
Well, the sun is shining, the birds are singing.
Don't you dare get romantic with me. For your information, this is Great Britain. The sun is not shining and all the birds are in chest clinics.
Sheila, I wasn't being romantic. Look, I just flew in from Boston. I was in a taxi on the way to Cambridge. I saw the house. Well, it seemed to me we have still got things to talk about.
What things?
Daniel, personal things. I'm tired of discussing our business with other people.
Oh, look, I can't take the day off. We're too busy.
I see.
Can you stop?
Here?
Till I get home from work.
Sheila, there is a lot to discuss. By the time we finish, it'll be 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'll have to stay overnight.
I could hardly ask you to stay in an hotel.
Of course not. You have to be practical.
Exactly. So what's all the fuss about?
We're supposed to be getting divorced.
We are.
Well, in case you hadn't heard, unlike marriage, it doesn't have to be consummated.
I told you he's sleeping in Daniel's room.
Well, don't tell me, tell Jonathan.
How do you mean?
Look, Sheila, do you honestly think he's going to believe that you can sleep 10 feet away from a prime hunk of pizza without taking a nibble?
What does it matter what Jonathan thinks?
You tell me.
Joyce, you know as well as I do, Jonathan and I are good friends.
Oh, God, here we go.
Very good friends, but beyond that...
You haven't managed to get yet. And you never will if your bedroom's always chock-a-block with ex-husbands.
Ramo is staying at my house to sort out a few loose ends. And that's all there is to it. As far as I'm concerned, Jonathan can interpret that any way he likes. I see no reason to make up some ridiculous excuse.
Morning.
Jonathan.
Did you bring it?
Bring what?
The book.
Oh.
Oh, for Pete's sake, Sheila, I've done everything but mug you for that book.
What? It's a library book, a biography of Mozart.
Who, incidentally, was still alive when I first lent her it.
I'm sorry, it's just that something happened this morning and it slipped my mind.
Oh? What? What? What happened?
Well, it's a sort of a private matter.
Oh, I see. Well, if you'd rather not say.
Oh, no, that's all right. She doesn't mind telling you. We were just discussing it.
Telling me what?
Well, if you promise not to spread it around.
My lips are sealed.
My washing machine broke down.
Oh,
It was terrible. There was water all over the place. I think it may be the motor.
I see. And you're a bit worried people might find out.
Well, I did rather show off a bit when I first bought it.
So if anybody asks, I'll just say it's rinsing and tumbling away as normal.
Would you mind?
Fine. You will remember that book?
Yes, yes, I promise, yes. Go on, then. Well, go on, then.
You know, this really is most annoying, having to fill in 2 chitties every time one wants to send for a patient.
I know. It used to be a lot easier when we just screamed next up the corridor.
Any idea why we now have to fill in this pink one as well?
Well, I asked someone upstairs, and they said it was a way of maximising resource potential.
I see. And what does that mean exactly?
Someone found a cupboard full of pink chitties and didn't know what to do with it.
Stuart, do take the scenic route. I thought I might stop for a Garibaldi.
I say, those two are getting quite chummy all of a sudden. Do you think it's serious?
Good Lord, yes. Sheila Sabatini finds out one of them may well end up on a slab.
Quite.
I just thought if I told Jonathan, he'd tell everyone. And I don't want people knowing my business. Of course, I now realise my mistake.
What?
I've already told the biggest foghorn mouth in the country.
Look, Sheila, when are you going to stop pretending that you and Jonathan are just friends? No one believes it. The only person you're on the verge of convincing is Jonathan.
Well, how do you know he thinks of me like that?
Oh, come on. Look at that book he got you. You telling me Jonathan's interested in Mozart?
No, I think he's more of a Freddie and the Dreamers man, frankly.
Well, there you are then. It's obvious he got it for you.
Yes.
Because he knows you like all that rubbish.
It's not rubbish.
Of course it is. Very good tune Mozart. Elton John's done 10. Joyce, look at it this way. There was Jonathan wandering around a big dusty old library. And who was he thinking about?
Joyce, what's that?
Annie Lucas.
I thought she worked in the pack lab.
She does. When she's not up here working on Jonathan. And there's nothing in it. She's had her eye on him for weeks.
Why isn't he trying to get rid of her?
He probably is. She's more than likely standing on his foot.
What do you reckon?
It's had it.
Oh, I don't know. It seems a shame if we can't use it just because the cuff's punctured.
We could try and fix it. In the Korean War, they used to use condoms.
Yeah, I read that somewhere. I've never really worked out how, though, have you?
No.
Jonathan, if Giles gets on with the hernia, can we do the endoscopy in here?
Hey, don't see why not.
Fine.
I'll try a few tests.
Yeah.
Really was nice of you, getting me that book.
Oh, yeah. It's quite good, isn't it?
You read it?
There's no need to sound so surprised. It may interest you to know that I've seen Madame Butterfly.
Oh, it does. Although it wouldn't have interested Mozart, he didn't write it.
Didn't it? Oh. Well, it was only on the box, and I switched over halfway through to watch the snooker.
I'm not surprised you read the book. I just thought you got it for me, that's all.
I did. I mean, I know you. A real sucker for all that stuff.
Yes.
No, I just skimmed through it. I expect you went down every page with a fine tooth comb.
Yes.
How was it?
I don't know, I haven't read it yet.
Haven't read it?
Well, I want to read it. Of course, I'm dying to read it.
Sheila, you've had it 4 weeks.
Well, if I could just hang on to it for a few more days.
You even started it.
Oh, yes, it's wonderful.
Where are you up to?
Well, he hasn't actually been born yet. I mean, there's quite a lot about his parents.
No, I'm sorry, I need that book back tomorrow.
It's only a library book.
It's overdue.
Well, with a bit of luck, you'll get off with a life sentence.
My God, all the blasted things I do for you and you can't do one simple thing for me. I want that book back tomorrow, without fail. Read it tonight, and if you can't manage that, bring it back in the morning unread. All right?
Well, it's about these pink chitties.
Patient request slips.
Never mind what they're called. I've been successfully sending the patients
White pink chitty list.
every day for the past 30 years, and now I'm being asked to sign for them as if someone thinks I may lose one down the back of a radiator.
It's just to make sure you don't get the wrong patient.
One knows if one gets the wrong patient. We say, "Are you Mr. Smith?" And they say, "No, I'm Mrs. Fosdyke."
What I mean is, it's to make sure the ward doesn't send you the wrong patient in the first place.
Joyce, the ward sends the wrong patient, chitty or no chitty.
The nurses in this hospital consider it tradition.
All All right, I'll see if I can do something.
I mean, I just think it's such a waste of paper. Think of the man hours wasted.
Well, I'm going to be doing something useful.
Bingo.
Joyce! Have you said anything to Jonathan about Ramo?
No, why?
Well, I don't know. He just seems a bit tetchy. Look, I asked him if I could hang on to that book for a few more days, and he more or less blew up in my face. I'm mad because I haven't read it yet.
Jonathan?
Well, as mad as he ever gets. He said blasted. I mean, I can't fathom it. Libraries don't care if a book's a couple of weeks late.
Ah, Sheila, isn't it?
Yes.
Is Jonathan Haslam around?
He's in Theatre 4. Shall I fetch him for you or just crush his toes on your behalf?
No, it's all right. I don't like to be a nuisance.
Oh, well, it can be helped. Have you tried psychoanalysis?
I just popped out because he promised to lend me a book and I forgot to ask him if he got it back yet. He's so nice. As soon as I mentioned I was interested in music, he said he got this book on Mozart. He said he'd bring it in this morning. Still, I'd better not disturb him if he's working.
So, is that everything covered?
Yes. Thanks.
Sheila, you all right? I know it's a difficult time, but you've hardly said a word all night.
Well, there's not much to say, is there? Look, I'm quite tired. Do you mind if I...
No. You go. I still have some wine left.
Shall I see you in the morning?
Sure.
Slept with him?
Yes.
How do you mean?
What?
Well, you know, slept with him or slept with him.
Well, there's no need to look so disapproving. He's still my husband.
You said he was staying at your house to tie up a few loose ends.
Was. I just needed to be close to someone at that moment, and he was there.
Oh, I see. So if someone had called round selling loft insulation, you'd have made do with him.
Joyce!
Sheila, are you and Ramo starting up again?
No! What's the point? Nothing's changed.
11 pints a day is far too much.
Year after year, we've had to cram our marriage into whatever time there was between a flight in from one place and a flight out to somewhere else. Our ideal home would have been a tent at Stansted. Oh, I couldn't cope with it anymore. I mean, what kind of partnership is it when all the sweet nothings have to be bellowed down a phone line to Rimini, constantly interrupted by Yugoslavians asking for a taxi?
Absolutely extraordinary.
There was no chance it could work. It never has. In all those years, almost all the time we spent together was spent arguing about the amount of time we had to keep spending apart. It suddenly occurred to me last night. We only managed to keep it going for so long because we were never together long enough to realise it wasn't working.
But you must still feel something.
Yes, something. That's not the point, is it? I mean, I have to think about the future. If I compare what I want out of life with the way it's been up to now...
Theatres. We're having a private talk.
Private talks should be held in private places and not in public places converted to private ones merely by excluding the public. One of whom, I might add, would like to come in and collect his cheese and pickle rolls. I see no reason why I should starve to death simply because two members of staff have nothing more productive to do than idle the day away, yapping like Radio 1 disc jockeys. Now, please, will you vacate that room at the double? or I shall be forced to take matters into my own hands.
You know, I always find George in full flow rather majestic somehow.
So if it's all over and done with, why did you know?
Well, it might sound ridiculous.
If it's anything to do with washing machines, pop-up toasters or carpet sweepers, you're out that door.
I think I did it to spite Jonathan after that business yesterday.
You went to bed with Raymer because Jonathan promised to lend Annie Lucas a library book.
I said it might sound ridiculous.
You weren't kidding.
I was angry. I'm still angry. It just seemed like a good way of getting back at him, that's all.
Yeah.
Rubbing his nose in the dirt.
Yeah.
Showing him he's not the only boat on the ocean.
So you told him then?
No.
No.
How could I tell him? It's hardly the kind of thing that crops up in conversation.
I could tell him.
Yes, you could. But first I should inquire whether C&A has any shoulder pads for a concrete overcoat.
Well, it doesn't make sense. I mean, what's the point in going to all that trouble if he doesn't know?
It isn't necessary for him to know. I know. Besides, it was no trouble.
Oh, well, here we are again. Another day, another endoscopy.
So, now we've gone through the esophagus into the body of the stomach,
I sometimes wonder if you've got some little known disease.
through the pylorus,
Endoscopomania.
and on into the duodenum.
You realise you're probably an endoscopaholic.
Jonathan, I'm trying to teach.
Thank you.
For what?
Well, basically for acknowledging my existence. Do you realise that's the first thing you've said to me all day?
Nonsense. I told you to belt up before lunch. Now, one can perform this with the patient being merely drowsy, but you will find men try and talk all the way through it. For some reason, 2 feet of fibre optics down the throat barely dulls the desire to twitter on about something. Oh, and one other hint. If you have any Valium left over, a few milligrams pumped into the anaesthetist can often work wonders. Now, have a look through there.
Sheila, have I done something really terrible that I don't know about?
I can't think why you say that. Oh, as you can see, it's been bleeding. The treatment for that is an H2 blocker. No particular one, but never say that in front of a drug rep or you may have to buy next year's diary. Oh, incidentally, I remembered that book.
Oh, good.
Not early enough to bring it back, unfortunately, but there you are.
Oh, well, doesn't matter. Anytime.
I thought you were desperate for it.
No, I know I got a bit ratty yesterday. You know how it is. Long day, get a bit tired. Actually, I've been meaning to apologise.
But you do still want it back as soon as possible.
When you've read it?
What I mean is to lend to someone else.
No. Who?
Well, I don't know. I just thought you wanted to, that's all.
No. I couldn't do that. I got it for you.
Well, it's these pink chitties. They're all refusing to fill them out. They say it's a waste of time. So? I don't know what to do. Explain to them why it isn't a waste of time. It is. Oh, well, in that case, do nothing. Well, won't that cause problems? Of course not. If more people around here did nothing, we wouldn't have these problems in the first place.
Rot of that man!
Who?
Jonathan. I mean, I've been happily spitting venom at him all day for being a lying, deceitful, two-faced rat. Now I find out he isn't.
You want to throttle him for that?
If he hadn't stepped back, I might well have endoscoped him to death. Do you realise I've slept with my husband for nothing?
Joyce, is there anything you could say that could explain what just happened in there? I told you I did not promise to lend Annie Lucas that book. I only mentioned the damn thing because she was flirting left, right and centre, and I thought Mozart was the next best thing to a bucket of cold water. You know what she's like?
Well, anyway, because of that, Sheila got a bit angry last night and did something.
Did what?
I can't say. But that's why she was angry again just now.
Why?
I've just said, I can't say.
Joyce!
Night.
Bye.
Good night. Has Sheila gone home?
Well, I expect so. Why?
I was just wondering if I should go around there, you know, and explain why I was so anxious to get that book back.
Go on.
Right.
Well, no, I don't mean go. I mean carry on explaining.
Oh, well, I
just got a bit angry she hadn't read it because
Because what?
there was something inside it.
What?
Well, a message I scribbled, you know, on one of those pink chitties.
Saying what?
I'll go round there.
Don't you dare go without telling me! Jonathan! See you tomorrow. Oh, I thought you'd already gone.
No hurry. Ramo doesn't leave till 7.
Ramo? Oh, my God. Sheila!
Hi,
What do you want?
just a chat.
Now?
Look, Sheila, I think there's been some misunderstanding. It's mostly your fault, but some of it's mine. So why don't we go in?
Ramo's here.
Oh,
No, don't go.
why?
I don't want you to. Come in. Say hello. Ramo? He just stopped in on his way to Cambridge. Ramo! Well, there's no need to look so nervous. Would you like some tea? Dear Sheila.
Well, don't read it out loud.
Dear Sheila, I've gone on to Cambridge. I'm sorry I made things awkward for you. Why didn't you tell me there was someone else? How did he know about that?
About what?
Well, that's what I mean. What does he mean?
No idea.
I just thank God he didn't come round while I was here. What are you doing?
It's my book.
I just thank God he didn't come round. Who? Is something wrong?
No.
Well, I can't figure this out at all. I mean, it's almost like he's saying, I've got a boyfriend or something.
You think so?
Well, you read it. What do you think?
This year, I'm not okay with so many things. Yes.
Well, who does he mean?